Hey everybody, it's me, Throwback Flyersguy, and last night there was a horrible plane crash in northeast Philly, right near the Roosevelt Boulevard. The airplane was a medevac airplane. It was transferring a little girl from Mexico to Shriners Hospital. The plane crashed near Roosevelt Mall. And for those of you who don't know, I live in the Northeast area. I'm not too far from that area. And coming out of me is just a drive, it's just a drive away, it's like, you can get to Continent Avenue real quickly around here. And yesterday, my mom came in last night and told me that there was a plane crash in Northeast Philly in the Roosevelt Mall. Now, there was a plane crash in 1978 in Northeast Philly, but it wasn't as bad as this one was. But it was still scary. And I just gotta say that one of my thoughts was, as a kid, we would go down to the Roosevelt Mall, and I kept thinking, I had a lot of thoughts going through my head. I kept thinking that maybe that could have been, what if that could have been us down there? Like, that could have been anybody down there. And my heart and my thoughts go out to the people that were shaken up by this, but also my thoughts and prayers go to the people that lost a loved one that day, and to the people that had to evacuate their homes and leave their homes. It's a sad situation. It really is. And knowing the fact that, because I never believed something like this could happen, but you'd be surprised, because anything can go wrong at any time. That's the thing about this world. Anything can go wrong at any time. And to the people that lost their lives while they were on that airplane, my thoughts go out to the people, the family members of the people in that airplane. My thoughts go out to the people who had to evacuate and have to start over again to rebuild their homes. It's a sad situation, and the fact of a little girl they were transferring a little girl from Mexico to Shriners to get surgery for her. She made it home, but she ended up passing on. I don't know the full story of what happened, but she did end up passing away. I think it had something to do with the crash. Like I said, it's a sad situation, and I just don't know what else to say right now. It's just a sad situation that something like this could happen. Right in your own backyard, basically. It's just, it goes to show that everything can go wrong. At any time, anything can happen. Sometimes we have no control over these things that happen. And, my God, it's just, I'm at a loss for, I don't know what else to say right now. But my thoughts and prayers go out to the city. My thoughts and prayers go out to the victims' families. My thoughts go out to this area of Northeast Philly, because I live in this area. I grew up here, and when I see this happening to people in my neighborhood, I see this happening to anybody. This really hurts my heart, and I want you all to know that always be grateful for these days you have on this earth. Always be grateful to be here. Always be grateful for life, because sometimes in the blink of an eye, life changes just like that. And last night's plane crash was proof that you just gotta be grateful for life. Be grateful that you have. Be grateful for your life. Don't take it for granted, because one day in the blink of an eye, your whole life should end, and your whole life should change, just like that. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that was affected by this plane crash. I love this city. I love the people here. And when I see something happen to anybody, when I see this happen, I feel for everybody affected by this. Friday was a tough day for everyone. It was a tough day for the people in that, for the families that lost their loved ones in that airplane. To anybody who's lost a loved one in this city from the plane crash last night, I want you to know you have my deepest condolences and my deepest thoughts. This is a very big tragedy, but no matter the severity of the tragedy, it was still tragic, and it was still a scary situation. And I do not wish this on anybody, because this is a horrible thing. It's a freak accident that happened last night. And I'm hoping that we can put it behind us, even though it might be hard to put it behind us. It might be hard for anybody that witnessed what happened to put that behind them. It's a traumatic experience, and it's probably going to be hard to forget for a long time. Not just for me, not just for the city, but for everybody involved in last night's tragic plane crash in Northeast Philly. And that's all I really need to say about that. That video I did was on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. The day after the horrific Northeast Philly plane crash that occurred on Friday, January 31st, 2025. It's a year later, and we are in the midst of celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the horrific Northeast Philly plane crash. On that day, Friday, January 31st, at the time I was on YouTube, I forget what I was watching, but my mom and my sister came into my room, and they said that a plane crash occurred in Northeast Philadelphia, right near the Roosevelt Mall, right near the Compton area. And when I heard this, right away we got off of YouTube and we put the news on. We were watching, I think, Action News. And when I saw what happened on the news, I was absolutely shocked. And as you can see in the last video I did last year, I was really worried because this was something that I never thought could ever happen in Northeast Philly, because this is probably the first time it's happened that something like that happens in Northeast Philly. And it's scary because we live close to that area, and we're just a drive away from where that all happens. And because, when I went to Flyers games with my dad, we always drove through that area. We always drove through Compton Avenue. And I think that something like that was happening. Somewhere you go to, like, almost every day, that something like that would happen. And it's scary because it was so close to home. And now that we're hitting the anniversary of this, it's shocking to know that something like that could have happened in this neighborhood, in this area. But it goes to show you that anything could go wrong at any time. And unfortunately, something went wrong with a jet engine, the airplane engine failure, and unfortunately it crashed here. And because of that, people are still in shock today over what happened. And there's probably some people that have PTSD over the whole incident. There are people that are still reliving that incident in their minds because it was such a scary situation for us as a city. Not just as Northeast Philly, but this city of Philadelphia. And the day after that, the mayor, Sherelle Parker, came out and she really brought this city together. And say what you want about the mayor, whether you like her or you don't like her, she's our mayor. She's part of our city. And what we say about her, whether you like her or not, you have to admit that she did the right thing, bringing the city together the day after that. I would put some news clips in here, but I don't want your copyright strike on this video. So, this will be my first Throwback Flyersguy video that will be posted on a Saturday. It's not Saturday right now. I'm recording this video on Tuesday, January 20th. This video will be out on Saturday, January 31st. Ironically, this whole plane crash happened on a Friday. And ironically, since I responded to what happened on a Saturday, the day after the incident, this video will go up on Saturday. So, like I said, it was a really, really tough experience for me, the city of Philadelphia that day. I just sitting there, just watching TV that day. And when I saw the whole news report, it really scared me. I was scared, and I didn't know if this was a terror attack or whatever, but I was scared. And I never really had that true fear since September 11th, 2001. I feel like that fear. When that happened, the fear came back to me. And it scared me. It scared me and it upset me. Now, there's some people that survived that. But even though they survived that, they still have the scars of when the incident occurred. That day, some parents lost their kids that day. They were flying a young girl from another country. So I think Children's Hospital of Philadelphia or Shriners Hospital. They were trying to get her there. A little girl was sick. And they're passing away that day because of that incident. I know it's a year later, but we're still reeling from the incidents of January 31st, 2025. That's all I gotta say about that. That incident taught us to cherish life. Because you never know when things will change. You never know when life changes. One simple thing can go wrong. And in an instant, everything changes.